can just leave.
They can hear us.
They can hear us. But
If you don't want to be a part of this journey with me, then
I'm a part of this. What do you mean right now? This? I gotta go. It's 5 o'clock.
it's 5 o'clock. I just started work.
yeah. Steven's an early riser though. He's the guy who keeps the lights on in the morning.
Yeah.
Oh, I just shorted and they liquidated all those longs. I like that.
You made dumped again.
I didn't do it, dude.
All right, Link, Sir Link.
Hold on.
Want some of these?
Wrecked.
I know. That's a bunch of extract pots.
I'm not looking at the secret. All you eat is trash.
Dude, my diet is shit. I don't like sweet
No,
stuff.
I don't either.
We're gonna start in a minute.
This is it right here?
Alright, you just.
Oh, you tweeted it first before putting it in? Okay, great.
What? I just sent you guys the. Link.
Typical shit, dude. Bullshit.
For some reason, I can't copy tweets anymore on Twitter.
You can't do it on your phone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I used to be able to.
It's,
now
if
I
you
can't.
press.
Why is that?
We got a good stream for you guys today. We got KoreanJew here from Korea. He flew in last night. He's been on a flight the last 19 hours.
I stopped in Israel on the way.
Crypto and Dale in here.
Crypto Dale in the house.
Crypto Dale, are you bullish on Bitcoin right now?
There's people.
We only got 80 right now. We'll start when we got about 150.
We'll start when we have 500.
Yeah.
You're trying to max out my numbers.
Got a bear.
Well, all we need is KJ to give us a shill, and
I'm just gonna follow.
hold on, I'm pulling up the questions.
Yeah, pull up the questions.
So what I do is.
Yeah, we go.
So, like most Whiskey Wednesdays, today's mostly
Copy
Q&A.
Copy link.
Yeah.
Copy.
Oh, tweet link.
Yeah, you see what I mean?
So tweet link if you do.
If you just hold this, like you hold that.
Yeah.
Let's go into that.
You guys ready? No?
A couple more minutes. We're just getting the link out.
You'll have my undivided attention
Crypto
all
Dale
day
22
tomorrow.
the best episode on Crypto Street.
But it used
They
to.
used to. Now
It's been a pleasure. Nice
Hey,
meeting you.
likewise,
I'll
man.
see you tomorrow.
We've been talking.
Yeah.
Good to put a face with you.
Right.
You got it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went in with a knock and shake my hand.
Bullish on McChickens,
Yeah, I'm out
bearish
too.
on McChickens.
You're around tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
I'll see you.
Oh yeah. Take it easy, right?
Take it easy, boss. You too. Yeah.
How many of y'all bought Superman's course?
Superman's course. That's a good question.
Well, I wasn't on camera.
Superman's course. Yeah, right.
Dale was ducking me.
Is it still 90%
Dale
off?
wasn't ducking me last night, isn't that right, Dale? Dale was all over the. He slid into my DM so hard last night.
Invest speed for the win. What's invest speed? They
It's
fired
that,
us.
they fired you?
You guys ready?
Laurent.
Yeah, I'm just getting one last link posted.
Can you guys hear right? How's the sound over there?
So how do we see like?
You're gonna sit in the middle.
How do we see the questions?
So those are. We can have another laptop.
Hey, I'll have it up. Yeah.
How do we make this bigger?
You can full screen it.
I should get my cell phone, but it's not.
Sounds Gucci? Good. I finally figured out how to mute the
You have to like turn
display
this. You
camera,
have to turn the
so
speakers
a
down.
lot better. We're gonna start in like 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's
Put
fair.
your pants back on, Birch.
Yep, they're. Hold on 1 second. They're almost back. Are we in frame, sir?
Yeah, let's go. Squeeze by you real quick.
You're on that side. KJ's in the middle. Pour
K-
pour
KJ
some
in the
whiskey,
middle.
sir. This is how you control the.
What
that.
is? Oh wow! This is. Look at this fancy mouse that Birch has. All right. So what's up,
It's the lady
everyone?
for,
Venture Coinus, good to see you in here.
Hey,
Venture Coinus will actually
there
be
he
on
is.
here next week for St. Patty's Day. But today we got a very special guest. We got KoreanJew in here.
What's up, guys?
You
Yo,
know,
yo.
he is actually the first guest on Whiskey Wednesday. So, you know,
honorary.
let's start it off just how they started off in the pod for Crypto Dale. What was the weather like in Korea this morning?
Well, actually, I was flying in out of New Jersey, and for a second I didn't think I was gonna make it, to be honest, because they were calling for a shitload of snow. And I showed up at the airport. My flight wasn't delayed, and good flight. But now here they got about like 8-10 inches of snow. So
Yeah,
There we
they're
go.
gonna kill
it
over
was
in
meant to
Michigan,
be.
too.
I was meant to be here.
So-
KoreanJew is bigger than any Korean or Jew I've seen.
We actually just got through saying. We just got through saying that same thing. Gat, will you please?
Whiskey.
Yeah.
Will you please?
I
I
did a few
remember my
curls
first live
before
stream.
I came here.
I remember my first live stream.
You got beer? You want some whiskey? Kid?
Dale,
Yeah,
can
I'll
we
do the
show the
whiskey.
link in the
Yeah,
pod?
why not?
Yeah, Dale, share the link in the pod.
Can we show the link?
Or the baby pod, whatever that
I'm
is.
trying to actually become Bolo, so I want to do the gift.
So you guys know how we do Whiskey Wednesday. It's a little bit more of a chill stream, lots of Q&A. So you guys have any questions, just put them in the chat. But since we have a special guest today, why don't you just go ahead? How do you get started in crypto? Give us the events.
The events?
Yeah. That's what people like to ask. They all want to know because a lot
Sorry,
of people
Dale.
out there, they want to see that you can go from nothing to something big really quickly. Like we're in a new space, and there's a lot of opportunities in here.
I definitely went from something to nothing. So
from something to nothing.
I mean, in the last month, I went.
Everyone's
from
short
something to
Korean
nothing.
Jew right now.
Yeah, shorting me. But so to be honest, I think the way I really found out about crypto was through social media. I was probably on Instagram or Facebook, and one of my friends was doing screenshots of CoinMarketCap, and I saw the percentages. I'm like, what is that?
What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm like, what are these? What are they doing? And I started to look into it, and long story short, I'm self-taught. I sucked in the space like a lot of us did. You hear Andreas talk about he locked himself away for 6 months, and all he did was crypto. I was doing that. And, things move quickly. And I just kind of had a passion for it, fell in love with it, and started to do well. And
You
the rest
built
is history.
quite the name for yourself so far. So congrats.
Well,
We're
thank
glad
you.
to have you
Thank
here.
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Didn't mean to put you on the spot at all. Some comments. Most likely coin to 10x to buy now. Probably USDT.
Oh, man.
No, TUSD.
TUSD.
We're true coin
USD.
maximalists now.
That's definitely going to be the next 10x.
Yeah, we're true coin
I can
maximalists.
definitely see it going from $1 to $10 in the next couple weeks.
Absolutely.
So, we're not going to be shilling any coins on here. We'll talk about some coins if you have specific
I might
questions.
shill some coins.
Bots
Hey,
are
don't- you
crushing
can't
the
stop
I'm
me
not
like
going to
that.
shill any coins.
I might shill the hell out of some coins.
I got a few coins to shill, but first we
Can't
got to get in
stop
front
me
of these
from
bots that are hitting this dislike button. Go ahead and throw some thumbs
Did
up.
you 50x leverage the dislike bar on YouTube? Are people disliking this? They don't like it? I'm not sure. I can only see the comments
I
right
think
now.
people are mad at me now.
Are
for some
people
reason.
mad at Korean Jew?
What's
Do we
going
have
on?
something that we need
don't
to
know.
say, everybody? Are you upset about a bear market?
I've been pestering Korean Jew to talk about Charter for weeks. Wow. Well, do you want to talk about Charter?
What is...
Not really.
That sounds like a drug. What is...
Charter.
Tell them about Lux, boys.
We already did.
I signed an NDA with CryptoDale, so I can't talk about Lux anymore. I'm just kidding. So Lux, yeah, I mean,
Fuck.
Lux
Height
is,
and
one
weight,
of the,
fellas.
Lux is one of the few coins that I've held through this bear market, and I just have really high hopes for it. I didn't sell it because there's no point in selling it at this price. Like I would literally be selling the bottom if I was selling Lux here.
So there are a couple of things that I think a lot of people want to know, and so I got some questions. KJ, since you are our special guest and crypto extraordinaire, as we approach hopefully the end of this brutal bear market that we've seen,
Right.
how are you going about finding some coins that you want to be a part of for the next run, and are you buying some of them now, or do you think that we still have some more downside to come?
Well, if I had to be honest about this, do I have to?
Wait,
You don't have to.
We have 360 dislikes on this video.
360.
somehow.
Is that the worst?
We don't even have that many.
Well, I don't think we even have that many viewers.
We don't.
How do we?
Haters gonna hate.
I think there's someone
No, it's
hired
a
a bot.
bot. Yeah.
Are people mad at you?
I don't
You
know.
got
Because this
some
hasn't
haters
happened to us before.
Maybe it's Doug Polk. But
We'll talk about the game.
so anyway, yeah.
How are we finding alts, and when are we gonna start buying them, if not already?
The alts that I like, I'm pretty open about. But we're looking into stuff. I think right now is a good time because the ICO market is somewhat dried up, and you have a lot of stuff opening, and it's trading below ICO price. To me, and a lot of those are on KuCoin. The ones that are quality, that have the strong fundamentals, are trading below ICO. When the alt market turns around, those are the ones where you're going to get your biggest gains from. So I have like a composite of coins that are huge upside, coins that are trading like at ICO or below, and then other ones that are a little bit higher, like your Cashes or Nebulous, Polymath that Gat likes, I'm actually becoming pretty bullish on. And there are a few others, Icon, Ven, obviously.
And we actually saw the situation that you're just talking about play out in October.
when
I had that Ether Delta phase where there was all these ICOs that, there was a really bad ICO season. A lot of these
they were
ICOs,
all trading below ICO price.
they went under the radar. They were only listed on Ether Delta, and they were kind of good projects. Something like Atonio, which was like
Arn.
1/3 of the ICO price. Arn, GBT.
Sonam was trading below ICO price as well.
And so
that's what we were doing. We were looking at stuff that was below ICO price, low market cap projects with strong fundamentals, and then some of them went as they went. But as the market turned around, a lot of these did really well. So to me, those are where me and my team are really digging into these newer ICOs that haven't made their parabolic runs. Throughout my trading career in crypto, which has been short but successful, the way I do it is I look for stuff that hasn't made the big run. I get in, I get out, and then I find another one. Because as long as this space is functioning the way it is, there's plenty of opportunity. You don't need to buy, and you stabilize your portfolio with some stronger stuff that you like the Neos of the world and stuff like that. But if you're doing if you're doing crypto, I mean, you're in it for the gains, right? Like you want to
I'm in it for the tech.
So you get like me and KJ.
You want to make big gains, right?
We have similar trading strategies where we're looking for the $5 to $15 million market cap coins that no one's talking about. We don't want a $200, $300 million market cap coin. It's going to be more stable in your portfolio, but the way that we trade, we want that 10x.
Yeah, that's right.
Dottie ICO is below pre-sale price. That is actually a perfect example of a coin that is going to have a really big breakout once the next alt bull market comes. There's so much FUD about it.
I don't even like it, but I know it's not going to be below ICO forever. You're going to make money.
That's
same with Ethereum. The same thing.
Someone just said Ethereum.
Yeah, Ethereum is.
Know what Ethereum is.
If you buy Ethereum, this is not financial advice, but if you buy it below ICO, like a month, 2 months from now, you'll look back and be like, oh.
And so
what I'm seeing, I made 10x. That's how you do it. You got to buy the stuff that's bloody.
I'm seeing the same thing that I saw in October, which was about a month and a half before the really crazy bull season, where IDEX, this new decentralized exchange, taking over from Ether Delta.
It's much better than Ether.
And there's a bunch of coins listed on there that are going to have crazy runs that no one's talking about right now. $5 to $15 million market cap, just like Ether Delta before the time that all alts ran. And I mean, I don't think that the next big run is going to be until May to June, somewhere in that area, maybe end of April. What do you guys think? When are we gearing up for the next alt season? Because we have people accumulating now. We have people that are already all in alts, just waiting we're just waiting for them. Then we have people like me that are just on the sidelines for now.
For me personally, and we've talked about this a lot within our group, I think that we're going to start if alt season is going to happen in 2018 at all. This is saying that we don't get into a nasty year-long bear market like Charlie Lee thinks that we will, right? If it's going to happen, and I lean on the side that it will, it's going to be definitely, in my opinion, middle to the end of April. What we're going to see is a lot of these ICOs, a lot of people who have their money tied up in ICOs, a lot of those ICOs are going to start to hit, and so people are going to finally be able to get some liquidity, I think.
Peace, Dale.
I think one of the things that I know about myself is that I'm traditionally about 20% of my portfolio is for trading. So for my 80% of my portfolio that I use as an investment, it's tied up in the Bitcoins and the Ethereums and the Moneros of the world right now. But for my trading stack, that's when I start to try to accumulate some of these alts. Right now, most of that money is tied up in ICOs, and so I'm not going to be able to liquidate some of that until April or May, and that's when I'm going to be
looking. Might be a blessing in disguise.
I know that's going to be the next question. Yeah. What ICOs are you in right now? Do you want to talk about any of them?
Yeah, so I think we've shared a lot of them pretty openly. At least I know I have across the Bravado community. So going back, Current. Autonomy, so Current, I'm really bullish on Current, even though it is a D-app, primarily because I know their team really well. They're here in Chicago. I've spent a lot of time with them, and I know that they have a lot of big stuff coming. But we have Current, we have BlockX, we have Globitex, so that's on the exchange side that I really like. Doc is another big one. Autonomy is an ICO that I'm invested in. Exum Chain, I know we're all in. And Nucleus was one that that I was in. We finally got our coins for that, and it opened
all three
up.
of us were in Nucleus.
Yeah.
That's
so
what we're going to be holding long term.
I know KJ is big on Nucleus as well.
Yeah.
And we're all going to be selling that long term.
The Proc.
KJ.
Proc show.
KJ,
they
KJ
want to
would
know
love to talk
Proc.
about
Fuck Proc. Come on, it's just a coin.
It's
I'm
a
sorry.
yeah.
It's listen. When I talked
And
about
cash
Proc,
all day.
this was in early January, okay, leading up to or February, late January, early February, leading up to the Super Bowl. I said, hey, this is a high risk, high reward investment.
Exactly.
It did 2x in 2 days. On Twitter, I publicly said I'm selling half of my Proc bag. I doubled my money. I don't know what the hell is going to happen here. It's getting out of control, and I'm going to let my profits ride. But I will not lose money. I refuse to lose money on this shit.
On a low cap like that. And so
And
this is
now
a
people,
funny
2
thing.
months later, they're asking me, Proc. And I said, you know what? Kevin, this fucking guy, he didn't chill at all. There was no Super Bowl commercial.
There was nothing.
So what is there? There's nothing going on right now. So people ask me, what do you think about it? I go, meh. I'm not going to say buy it now because there are other coins that are doing more. So you know what? Stop asking me about Proc.
Let's go.
Okay?
You know the problem
Fuck Proc.
when you're in our position is
I don't want to hear about it. Just a coin, man.
he knew that question was gonna come. So the problem is we just had this huge bear market for alts, but for some reason people want to only bring up the ones that we talk about. And it's like you go back and you look and every coin is down 70 to 80%.
Everyone.
So, something like Proc, like the whole market crashed, but people want to stay there and nag because, someone puts too much money into one call. And we always say,
I think I literally said put like 1 to 3%.
We always say
max.
nonstop, don't be putting a lot of your money into one coin that you like because there's thousands of coins out there. And when it comes down to it, if you put your money in 10 coins instead of one, there's a pretty good chance that one of them will be a nice 3 to 5x, maybe a 10x. When you just put all your money in one coin, like that's when you're not sleeping at night. You are literally depending on that one coin breaking out, and then you start to FOMO, you see other things breaking out. So it is so important to have a diversified portfolio. You want to mix in low caps, mid caps, and top coins. And then, of course, always be holding some Bitcoin because things like the last month happen. So, anyways, moving on from that.
Are we buying altcoin? Are there some altcoins that we want to buy now, knowing that there's blood in the streets? And one of the things that I've been looking at, right, is a lot of these TAs that we have these shit coins that have a month of market trading history, and they're being TA'd against BTC, which is obviously extremely volatile. Guys, if you see a TA like a real TA on
I'll go down more.
96.
It's going down
If you see a TA on a coin that's been on exchanges for 3 weeks, you can throw it out the window, okay? We're not making entries right now based on TA for almost any shitcoin, especially ones that have 2 weeks worth of trading history. If anything, I'll look at the USD chart on CoinMarketCap to get an idea of what I think the true value of that coin will be. So there's some coins that I do like that I'm okay buying now because the way that I'm planning, none of us know if the alt market is going to kick off tomorrow. The SEC could come out with a tweet tomorrow, right?
Donald Pump,
which I actually have 2 Donald Pumps in our Discord. Both of them
it's
have
the best
different.
name. It is
it's
the best name.
What I will tell you is that could happen at any time, and so
All I'm
there's a
saying
couple
is
of
you
projects that I'm
you got
buying.
Putin coming out saying crypto's the future.
This
Russia's
could
gonna
happen
do this.
whenever.
You don't think Trump is paying attention? Say, you know what?
Push me to the edge. All my alts are dead.
Yeah. Who's that? Is that Lil Uzi Vert coin?
Yeah.
Is he there?
Oh no,
Oh.
Joshton B. I can't even read your name, dude. But
The reality is, guys, a lot of people don't have fresh powder to buy alts because they bought all of them and then they
been buying it.
they held them for the last 2 months. So
and that's one of the reasons
me-
I sold
to
a lot
me-
of positions at a loss because I
Two
knew that they
Whiskey
was going
Wednesdays
a lot.
ago,
You did
when
the
we said
right
we had
move
available.
because you did it weeks ago. But if you're all in an
almost too
alt,
late.
to do it now, your
You
risk
better ask for a
reward,
raise.
your
It's
risk
time
reward
to
is no
deposit more
good
fiat.
because but your risk reward
Yeah.
is screwed because how much lower is it going to go? Can it go lower? Yes,
Absolutely.
but how much lower compared to where we were?
And you got to see the market cap for the total coin market cap is still coming down. At least it has been the last day or so. and more coins are being added. And some
Well,
of them
I
have
like this
multiple
question.
hundreds of
If you
millions.
each had to pick one crypto that isn't in the top 10 that you had to hold for 5 years, what would it
But
be?
5
and why?
years? What the hell are you?
5
5 years? That's too long. 5 months. Let's talk about 5 months.
The
'Cause
longest
5
I've
years-
ever held a coin
5
is
years.
5
You have
months.
no
That's it.
clue. You have no
Yeah.
clue what's
It's the
going to
longest
happen
I've
in
ever held-
5 years.
I guess except Bitcoin. I've held Bitcoin for more than
I
5
think they're
months.
just saying, what's the coin that you're most bullish on that's not in the
Five
top?
months.
You
My
know,
favorite low cap right now
Cash for me.
is Lux. That's
Really?
not in the top. And Lux or Cash is
Cash
in the
not
top
in the
10.
top 10.
Is
For
it top
me-
20? What's it? 400 million? 300 million?
It's like a 50th, 60th rank coin.
300, 400 million dollar market
300
cap?
million.
We
Nah,
can
for
take
me
it.
it's Storm, definitely, because of the use case. I'm a big proponent of the gig economy. My background is in the startup space with a very, very successful startup that made billions of dollars in the gig economy. So I do strongly believe in a coin like Storm.
Yeah.
And so for me, if I had to hold anything
I may need
at
to
100
open- I
million,
need to fill up a bag of that.
you need to fill up a bag.
Yeah, I don't
I
have
can
any.
guarantee you Storm is not a financial advice.
Stop
will do
flipping
well.
gat. Thought it was Poly, not Lux.
Ah!
Dude, I like
Poly's-
Poly. I'm holding Poly right
Call
now.
Calling
them
Poly is
out.
one of the few alts that I'm buying
You know,
right now.
I talk about Lux because it really is undervalued in my opinion, and I will keep saying that. I think Lux is undervalued. From the tweet they sent out the other day, they're probably going to get added to a new
I'm
exchange
not drunk.
soon.
I'm just tan. I just got back from Puerto Rico, so people,
Exactly.
Asian people. we
And
go
he was
mad.
on a 19-hour flight from Korea this morning.
Yeah.
He stopped in Israel.
I wasn't from.
You're not from Korea.
So this is the thing about cash. Like people think it's just like a BNB type token. It's so much more than that. And this is when we talk to Mike next week, you'll understand more of like what they're actually trying to do. It's not just like a token where you get a discount on trades. You get that, but at the same time they're building their own blockchain. There's going to be probably master nodes or some sort of staking component to it. Any decentralized app, any additional financial service or product will need to be paid for in cash. So the token itself has a higher utility than any of these exchange tokens. And what they're trying to do is basically they're going to be like the Robin Hood of the world with all these different different fiat currencies. You can trade with Korean won. There's all different currencies going through buying altcoins through their platform. So you have to anticipate or at least project what type of volume is this exchange going to get, and then what is the token value?
And we know I'm bullish on exchanges. Someone in the comments said KJ in that Cash AMA. If you guys don't know, he is going to actually be doing a live interview with the Cash
Thursday.
team next week on Thursday. And so
Yeah.
if you're interested in Cash, he's
Thank
going to be
you.
doing an interview
Thank
with
you.
them. It's a coin that he knows a lot about and he's really bullish on. He's had questions to ask the team for, weeks, maybe months.
Yeah.
And so I will definitely be watching that. That's
Yeah,
something
we've done
to
a
look
ton,
out
ton
for.
of research. The analysts, we've come up with the best questions, the most commonly asked questions. And
great.
I don't know.
That's
I'm
awesome.
not throwing them softballs. These are tough
Yeah.
questions. Like for instance, the exchange as it currently exists is not the most user friendly. Are they going to try to modify that to something that people are more comfortable, like a Binance or a KuCoin type?
Do you trade
model?
on it now?
No,
Yeah.
because it's not that user friendly. But they're combining the 4 exchanges they have. They have partnerships and they have approval from the Japanese government. So you have to think.
And
that
we know that the Japan news that's
Yeah.
been coming out is extremely bullish on these exchanges. They just want to have more ownership over it.
Do you want to talk about the Japan news this morning? There's obviously a lot that happened in the crypto market this morning. There was the Japan news, some SEC news on top of
Binance, and Mt. Gox.
Binance, Mt. Gox.
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt.
Let's
I
talk
woke
about
up
the
a
Mount.
little
Let's talk
late.
about Mt. Gox
Johnston,
first.
you better believe it.
Yeah, a lot of people hit me up on Twitter after we posted about it this morning, and they said, "What the hell are you talking about, Mt. Gox? I thought that exchange was gone. I thought they were wiped out." The reality is that the primary beneficiaries of a lot of the holdings of Mt. Gox, and that wallet I think has over $1 billion in it, had made a press release today that they released that shared that they have been liquidating Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash for the last 2 months. You can actually see they sold, I think, 8,000 Bitcoin, 6,000 Bitcoin, 8,000, and I think last week or something it was like 18,000 Bitcoin that they unloaded. And the idea behind it was that they needed to get some of this liquidity back to, for all the same reasons that any company would need profit. And so they did a whole press release on it. They didn't sell $400 million worth of Bitcoin today. Like, that's not what caused this big red dildo. This was a combination of, one, very little to no volume and support after it fell out of that rising wedge and bounced off the log downtrend, coupled with FUD from an SEC article, Mt. Gox selling $400 million, which again didn't happen, and Binance being hacked, which also didn't happen.
As well as the SEC.
And then the SEC
people were
article that came out.
interpreting what they said is that they were going
So
to
I recommend you
regulate
check out
exchanges.
the Bitrex just tweeted their official statement on the SEC. They posted it about an hour ago. But the the point to the SEC article, which is shared in the Bravado Telegram, is basically stating that they want to make sure investors know that we are not privy to any of the protections.
Shut up, Kev.
That we're not privy to any of the protections that come from the SEC. So when you invest on an exchange that is not approved by the SEC, then you're not going to get the protections of the SEC. And that's what that article was about. They were not banning exchanges or anything else.
Kev said I'm shopping at Baby Gap.
So something.
I literally came off a plane.
We are wearing the same size black V-neck.
No, I think he's talking about like I'm not wearing like an adult outfit. I got like leggings on.
I don't think
and
that's
a
what he's
t-shirt.
saying.
So they want to know. There's a few questions. Tell me about this upcoming poker game.
What? With
Doug
Poke?
Polk.
They want to know. The people want to know.
The
Tell me
people
about
wanna
this
know.
poker game.
Listen. Do you think I would? First off, I'm not the mega whale people think I am. Do you think I would risk that much BTC if I didn't think I was going to beat his ass? Like, are you serious?
Go.
Like, I wouldn't do that. All right. So people saying this is some marketing ploy. Number one, I've never accepted money from any ICO.
Thank you, Samika, for the hot and spicy.
She
chicken.
gave you a
I
time.
appreciate it. Oh, or plain, definitely plain ketchup only.
Hashtag buy proc.
Yeah, by proc. Shut up with the proc. All right.
She
It's
did
enough.
me. I gotta say it.
She literally wrote by proc. Okay, so the bottom line is like as you guys know, when you get a certain following, you get PMs for people trying to get you to chill their ICOs and this and that
Every
and tweet
day.
this. I have never accepted one, not one. So now I'm gonna put 10 BTC up to market. I don't care. Like I said, I've said this many times. When cash moves, I'm fucking out of here. You'll never see me again. Like literally, you won't see me again. I'll own a bunch of dental offices. I'll do crypto on the side. I'll sell my Twitter to some other Korean Jew, and you'll never fucking see me again. All right. So stop
kid
with the
keeps
bullshit. I want to kick his ass. I like him, but this has been a dream of mine. When I was like 16, 17, I used to play poker like crazy. I'm like, I want to be in the World Series. I want to play Phil Ivey. I want to play Negreanu. I want to play Johnny Chan the Master. I want to beat all these guys. And then, you know what? I was too lazy. Like, I'm not going to go play poker.
Cryptos.
And then I got into other stuff. But when it comes to heads up, I've never played someone where I was like, I can't beat that guy. I bust people up all day. I'll bust you. Any of you want to play right now?
You
let's
wanna
put
play
it
a
up.
poker stream
You want to
tonight?
do it? We could do it right
We
now.
could poker
no,
stream.
I don't want to show poke my game. But I will
He's
win.
backing out already. He's scared of my poker
I am
game.
not scared. I'll play you after him. No, I'll play you right now.
Yeah,
we
I'll
could
get
play
to
it
study your
right
game
now
for a little bit,
but the
against
bottom
poker.
line is, I thought it would be fun for crypto. I thought it would be fun for poker. I'm surprised nobody else has challenged him because I know there's a lot of poker players in the crypto space, and it would just be something cool to do. And I did it. And people are like, "Oh, he's a monkey. I'm like, really, bro? Like like God forbid I lose. I sacrifice 10 BTC for your entertainment, and I'm an asshole.
In the entertainment part, I'm going to be working hard with Birch to bring that.
Right?
We're going to be streaming it out of Vegas, probably in a private
Cheers.
room at a casino. We might be selling some tickets to the event, or just bringing some people in kind of as a little
I'm never going to the casino.
poker party. Me and Birch are going to hopefully be commentating on
Cheers to
the
that.
game of KJ versus Poe.
You know, like, the people watching this stream, do you not want to watch or no? We're gonna stream it. It's gonna be live.
Yeah, like Dad said,
we're gonna bring crypto people there.
We're going to go out to
Do you
Vegas.
want to watch it or no? It's gonna be in Vegas. It's
We're
gonna
going to
be
color
heads up.
commentate.
Yeah.
We're going to have a private room. We're going to live stream it. We're going to be at the Bellagio.
Winner
We're gonna
pays
be
for the
at
after
Bellagio.
party, I heard.
Winner pays for
No,
the after party.
I'm gonna buy an Aston Martin. Like right after I beat him, I'm gonna go right to the fucking Aston Martin dealership,
Buy an Aston
and I'm
Martin.
driving off.
Let's go.
Let's do it.
Fuck
And
it.
I'm
You'll see-
shipping it to Puerto Rico. I don't know if I'm buying an Aston Martin because the Puerto Rico thing, but no, I'm having a good time. This is me. Like if I'm talking, people are saying I'm fucked up. I'm not. Trust me. If I was, you would know. I'm having a good time.
He's from Jersey. He's
I'm
ready
being
to
animated.
Go.
This is who I am.
This is who he is.
And I get excited.
I
He's
love
excited.
it.
You know,
I absolutely love it.
This is the first time I've actually got to meet KJ here. We've been working together for months, like maybe
6 months.
5 or 6
6
months.
months.
You know, we've been working together almost on a daily basis, and so this is the first time he's come out here. We're excited. We want to have a good time. Okay, some more questions.
Take some questions, guys. KJ, you are just a nice guy. It's cool.
That's cool. Hey,
Entertainment
thank you.
dinner
Thank you.
in New York. I'll be in
We'll
New
be in-
York
I'm
in
gonna be
May
in- I'm
for
going to-
consensus.
Yeah, consensus. We're all
The
gonna be there.
14th to the 16th. KJ lives pretty close to New York. Sally, good to see you in here as always. How can you live in Chicago and like ketchup? Hashtag buy proc. Samika, like eating McChickens with ketchup is an art. I know a lot of people aren't ready to do it yet, and that's why. You know, people are suggesting that I try mayo on McChickens, but I tried it. It's not good.
It's not good.
If you were up that one night,
Polynesian sauce?
25 lucky people saw my Instagram live stream at about 4:30 a.m. I had 15, 20 McChickens, and I was doing taste testing.
I love the McRib. The McRib is
You are
actually.
The
fucking
McRib.
animal. No
The
way.
McRib.
Do they have McRib
No
right
way.
now?
I think it's only in February.
Yeah.
I love the
only around
McRib. I've had some good nights drinking,
Unreal.
drinking.
I've seen.
Drinking McRib.
Yeah,
Just
drinking and then McRib.
Someone asked about what people think when they walk by and see a bunch of dudes drinking in the office. Listen, it's a joke in this. We're in a large
Yeah.
office place. We have one of
I
the
feel
larger
totally out of
offices
my
here.
element right now. Like, I told them, I'm like, this is really
People
weird.
are saying the camera's out of focus. Does it look okay over there?
Y'all don't need it to be perfect.
You know,
It's probably because like I'm sitting too far forward, he's sitting too far
what
back.
if we? How's the camera now? Is that better? It's harder for me to
We'll
read the
fire
chat
our
from
AV
there. I have really
guy.
bad eyes.
Yeah, I can't
Kev-
even. I can't read if I don't sit any closer.
Kev, DM me if you're for real, man.
McRib
Like,
is
I'm
the
literally
worst.
the best in that business. I am.
Crypto Kev is the
It's
man.
well documented.
Gat's headset is fucked up. Yeah, I'm sorry. My headset's fucked up today. I don't know. People always
Hey,
give a
where's
shit
the
about my
eyebrows?
audio.
Yeah,
Where's the
how-
eyebrows guy today?
I don't know. I haven't seen the eyebrows.
Hey,
guy
where's the
yet.
eyebrows? Where you at?
What are your peaks?
Focus on
So-
KJ's biceps.
What does peaks mean?
A lot of questions I've seen that we've skipped over are on Icon.
I feel like you
Oh yeah, Icon.
Icon.
VeChain.
There's a lot on Icon.
Guys, if you have followed any of us since any of us came on the scene, then you should have bought VeChain around 20, 40, even 50 cents, anything less than $1, and you should have been sold it a long time ago. We really like that project, but as we were just
Yeah,
talking
I don't
about,
own any VeChain
now it's a
right now.
multi-billion-dollar market cap. That's not what I'm putting my portfolio into. It's got way less upside. So I'm loading up on $30, $40 million shit coins because I know the next market. That's the fact. I'm not in it for the
Yeah.
tech. I'm sorry, this office ain't cheap.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm buying some really low cap coins that I do believe in, that I think have really good marketing, that I think can sell better than others, and that's kind of who I'm loading up. So Ven, I love the team. I love what they're doing.
That's actually, I mean,
But-
that's
I'm not bullish on Ven, but it's
That's-
certainly not. It's kind of old news now.
he's playing the game with his mind and not his heart, you know. And to me, I think Ven
I love
actually.
Ven so much.
Yeah.
I'm a node.
I still have plenty of Ven.
I
you
like
know?
the
I have
technology.
I do.
10% of my original Ven holdings right
I
now.
like the technology. That's what I got in here.
I have plenty of Ven. I still haven't, you know. But as it went up, I sold. You know, incrementally. I sold a little bit. It's still one of my top 2 holdings. Basically, my top 3 holdings are Icon, Cash, and Ven, and it depends on what their price is at the day, which one's the top. But I agree with that sentiment that, you know what, Ven we did 20x on, so we're basically hunting for the next coins that will do 10, 20x. And you
How
take
many
the profit out.
McChickens could KJ lift? Lean with it, proc with it. Another tip from Samika.
Samika.
Crypto
Hey, we need
Princess,
to
good
bring
to see you in
Samika in
here.
on the social memes.
Yeah,
like this.
Samika, you need to make me some McChicken.
Samika
gifs.
knows what's good.
Gifs,
I don't know
gifs.
if Samika's a dude or a chick, but it's,
I can't see that far. I have
Yeah,
horrible
I can't.
eyesight, to be honest.
it
but-
doesn't matter.
Captain
but-
Coinage in here. Good to see you.
Cap. Hey,
Hey, the Captain.
Want to talk about Cap today?
Cap doing his thing.
Talk about Cap. We love Cap.
I saw
The Binance
something-
AP hack. That's important.
Actually, we should talk about the Binance thing. There was a bunch of FUD going around this morning that Binance got hacked. Binance didn't get hacked. If Binance got hacked, your coins would very likely still be safe because 95% of their supply, like any proper exchange, is
Hold on, I have to read the tip.
held
I have to read the tip.
offline
It's proper etiquette.
in cold storage. Go ahead.
Paid billionaire tip for the plebs out there: buy Track, the best shit coin. P.S. Gat eats McChickens over Portillos. Shame.
Portillo's. He's only been in Chicago for like a month, guys. You gotta give him some time on Portillo's.
Portillo's on Postmates all the time.
Where's the nearest Moe's?
Moe's? No, I'm a Chipotle guy.
Guys, I'm trying to keep it. I'm trying to keep it real, but these guys are going off the deep end. With Binance, you gotta remember that again. Most of
Bravado memes
got nothing on Doge. I have no doubt. I have no doubt about that. Binance did not get hacked. They keep most of their stuff offline anyways. What has been getting hacked are users, and a lot of users got hacked because they didn't take appropriate precautions with their API integration. Hey, APIs. How often are you guys allowing third-party apps to get access, even read-only, to your exchanges?
Never.
Never.
I don't do it.
Ever.
What do you mean?
You don't do it. I know
you don't have third parties logged into your really secure accounts with money in them?
Folio, shit folio, any of that bullshit. You should not be giving. An API is just a fancy way of connecting one app or something to something else, basically. So if there's a lot of apps out there, especially portfolio management apps or trading bot apps that, not even so much apps isn't the right word, but trading bots, that you give your API key for your exchange, which you can find in the settings of your exchange, Bittrex, Binance, what have you. And what it does, it gives them access to make trades on your account, or in some cases just to read the balances of your account, so that way it can keep your. If you don't do it, just period.
You should not give your API key to
anybody for any reason.
When you have money online, you need to be really smart with it. That's why we always stress it. Don't keep money on exchanges. Like, even if you had a bot trading on Binance, if you don't keep your money on the exchange, no one can access it except you.
And if you have a bot trading, it should be trading whatever percentage you have allowed to that bot, which I hope to God isn't more than 2% of your portfolio. So if you do have I actually am testing out a bot right now on a Binance account that I set up that I threw half a Bitcoin into, and that's a risk that I'm willing to take. In worst case, I lose that half a Bitcoin. I'm testing a bot. If any of you guys are out there trading 20 BTC on Binance, or you just have a bunch of Bitcoin sitting on an exchange, frankly, that's not very smart. I'm not going to say you know no one deserves to get hacked. You hate to see that, but you got to protect yourself. And a lot of people who got taken down today simply did not protect themselves.
Will all three of us be there tomorrow? Yes. If you guys don't know what tomorrow is, we are hosting an event here in Chicago. I'm going to be hosting it every other Thursday. It is the Chicago Cryptocurrency Club. I'm going to be bringing in people every other week, whether it's a trader like KoreanJew, a CEO, someone like Current. The current CEO is going to be speaking at one of them soon. And we're going to be doing, just some networking in a small panel. I really want to stress bringing the community together offline. Considering an ALQO masternode, algo, thoughts on this coin? I've seen some people posting about it.
Tony Crypto just set one up, yeah.
Tony Crypto did. So the thing about masternodes is when the rest of the market's taking a shit, they seem to do really well. And the reason they do really well is because people have their coins locked into masternodes. So usually 50 to 60% of the circulating supply will actually be locked into masternodes. On top of that, the second thing is there's more people looking to buy masternodes. So if someone dumps a masternode during any sort of bearish trend, there's another person ready there to pick up the masternode at a cheap price and set it up. Best live stream ever, way better than the usual crypto talking heads. Make this shit a regular thing.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you. This is what we want out of a Whiskey Wednesday. Obviously, we post a lot of serious content. And we spend a lot of time on it. And just getting this chance to relax and do a fun stream is awesome.
These guys and myself and him, we've been talking for months and months and months, and we've had success together over the internet. This is literally the first time I'm meeting them in person.
Yes, sir.
So we want to have a great weekend.
Like, I literally got off the plane. They took me out to lunch. We had some drinks with lunch. We're having a good time. So we're talking about proc. We're talking about coins. We're talking about, crypto.
We're having a good time.
But at the same time, I'm having a great time. It's really an honor to be here. I'm glad to be here. And, like in my life has changed significantly in the past 6 months. And these guys were there for it with me.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
And I know their lives changed too.
What a lot of people don't understand
it's pretty cool.
What a lot of people don't understand is how much not just the three of us, but let's give a quick shout out to our homies Peripheral or Crypto Joe or Crypto Dog or Crypto Cred or KoreanJew or Luke Martin or Zizou or you name it. Like a lot of us are up at 3.
Donnie,
and
we met
Donnie
Donnie's a
Crypto,
great dude.
Crypto Dale, and
Captain
Crypto
KoreanJew,
Street,
Crypto
like all,
Cred, Flood. We
Flood,
want to
all
meet all of
these,
them.
and
It's awesome.
the reality is, all of us are up at 3 in the morning a lot of times talking, and this is our life. Like this is all
This guy's trolling
we
the shit
do,
out of me.
right?
He wants a double bicep. He wants my hair. He wants.
It's better than wanting
Pascal,
gas.
you're a fool.
It's funny because usually people are in here trolling me. It's a relief
Yeah.
for
It's
me
a
that
nice,
they're
it's
trolling
nice
you.
that they're getting.
I'm catching all this shit. You know.
So I saw a serious question earlier that I think it would be good for us to kind of go to. Someone wanted our Bitcoin prediction for the rest of the year.
Let's go.
I can start it off. I definitely
40K EOY.
Okay, you can start it
I'll
off.
start it.
Done.
So that's it.
40K.
40K EOY.
So my prediction, I think we might see a few more bear days right now. There was a lot of bad news at the same time, and whenever we see this, it always leads to a big rally. But I think we're gonna have a little bit more of a dump, maybe test like 8,300 level. But my outlook for this year, I can definitely see us hitting 30 to 50K. I see Bitcoin going back to 50-55% market dominance over the next 6 months, maybe the next 8 months. I mean, we got 9 months left in the year. But I always talk about it. A lot of these altcoins are going to die. They're either...
Think that's going to happen this year?
Yeah, I think the reckoning is going to happen this year. REKTENING. Reckoning. Sorry, I'm a little slow right now. But there's so many altcoins that are kind of abandoned projects, but they're still boasted.
Got him. The cat.
Why do you suck at Fortnite?
I'm so fucking bad at Fortnite. KoreanJew carries me. Every night he carries me. I told you up at 3 in the
You
morning.
guys
playing
never
Fortnite.
invite me.
I didn't know you were PS4, my dude.
You guys, I
have
appreciate
a
these
PS4.
tips. I honestly don't know where they
KJ's
go
on.
to. I've never. This is like the second time I've gotten a tip in a YouTube.
Yeah, where are
live
those
stream.
even?
Yeah,
Those
how
just
do
in
you
your
get
Google
tips?
payments
I don't know.
account?
I've never got
I've
tips.
gotten like 2 of them before.
I don't want tips.
Anyway, so what I was getting back to is there's a lot of altcoins that just aren't hitting their development plans. They're losing developers. They're losing their community.
And they're running out of money. The market came down 80%, guys. These are startups.
Yep.
These are startups, some of which have a smaller operation than we have here, and they have 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 million dollar market caps, and they're working out of a space half
Need
the
some
size.
dimmer
of this.
lighting. All right, fine.
So
I'll dim the lights.
that's just going to turn them off. There's no dimmer in here, but turn them off. I don't care. The reality is they've lost their
lights?
Stop interrupting,
we
Birch.
pay too much for it. The reality is most of these they're all startups.
Ubiquitous.
They all lost 70% of their value, and it's very difficult to keep the lights on when you're running a startup that has no revenue, many of which have no product. And so the companies that I'm buying into right now, as I've stated, are literal shit coins. 20, 30 mil. I will buy 10, $30 million coins and let 9 of them go to 0 to catch the one that goes to 3 billion.
Exactly.
Then jump in on a bunch of $2-3 billion big cap, Verge, fucking Tron, Cardano, Ripple, for God's sakes. The only big cap I'm on besides Bitcoin right now is Monero, and that's because I'm super bullish on privacy coins. Bitcoin by EOY.
Samika, again,
40K.
you can thank me for the tipping, said nodes. If I had some nodes, I would send them to you. Appreciate the tips as always.
Yeah, people keep asking about Matrix AI network.
I don't know anything
I don't
about
know
Matrix
anything about
Network.
it.
I get a lot of
Yeah.
questions about it, and it's been performing pretty well. I think it just had a
It
recent
seems to be
breakout.
really stable where it's at, but
In the market.
I know
Matrix-
Mocho likes that a lot.
It's
Crypto Mocho.
it's a serious long-term project that has big potential, but it's like, what is it going to do? It's something that we're researching. Come on,
Cry later.
I can't do it.
People are paying. People are paying.
They don't want us.
us.
They don't want it. They want us just to shit talk. They don't want it serious. Buy proc or cry later.
We could talk shit. I mean,
We spend most of our time
the
talking.
bottom line is where Matrix is at
Yeah.
now. If they are to accomplish some of the hits on their roadmap, it'll be huge. It will be absolutely huge. Now,
You can say that about-
can they do it? I don't know.
Like
You
a lot
can-
of these coins
you
have
can
pretty
say
lofty,
it.
like Polymath. I guarantee you, and I throw around a lot of guarantees, so don't. It's really not a guarantee at all. But I guarantee you that they will rebrand. They not rebrand, but they will pivot from what they're trying to accomplish.
This
right
is
now.
a good question from Assam. Impact of Lightning Network on the Bitcoin and the market. That's going to be a major catalyst, in my opinion, for Bitcoin. And that's one of the ones that'll break it through that 20K. You know,
I think it'll certainly steal market cap from Bitcoin.
We didn't even answer the full question. So, like, what my projection for Bitcoin this year, I think we will get close to 50K, and then you'll see another dump, kind of like you did in January.
And we'll probably dump back to like 10K, honestly.
So 50 to 10.
Yeah, I mean that's an 80% correction.
Yeah, 70.
That's right.
Yeah.
So someone, you know, if you don't know about the Lightning Network, I can hit on it a little bit. You know, no one's really talking about it. People are actually just starting to talk about the Lightning Network. What the Lightning Network is, it's an application being built on top of the Bitcoin blockchain. It's called off-chain scaling, whereas, you know, Bitcoin Cash wants to do on-chain scaling. So the way the Lightning Network works is you can open a channel between someone else, whether it's a business or a person. So say I go to a coffee shop every morning. Instead of going there and doing a transaction every morning, I can open a channel with them. And so I can go to that coffee shop 50 or 100 times and be sending transactions within a channel, but none of them get sent to the main blockchain. And so, you know, after a month, we can close the channel and then our ledger gets paid out. And so the way the Lightning Network works is off-chain transactions. So there can be 100 transactions between our channel, but none of them are sent to the main chain except that final transaction that closes it. So when you're talking about Bitcoin scaling, where it only has, you know, 7 transactions per second, the Lightning Network would bring it to an infinite amount of transactions per second because you could do them off the chain. And then everything in the end gets reported to the chain, and they have different structures that they use to make sure, you know, if I'm sending you money, it's legitimate and things like that. But so that's really the whole thing behind the Lightning Network and why it's such a big deal. Alex Enns, I love you. I'll see you on Sunday in Mexico. But so the whole thing about the Lightning Network is if it fails, it's being built on top of Bitcoin. So it would not affect Bitcoin at all. And, you know, one of the reasons that people are so bullish on Bitcoin and because it's a store of value versus Ethereum is because it's never had a problem with the blockchain. Ethereum had a rollback when the DAO was hacked, where, you know, they had to split into Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. Bitcoin has been the strongest, biggest, most secure network in the world, and that's why people use it as a store of value. And that's why, again, I don't think Bitcoin's going anywhere, especially if crypto continues to take off. Sorry to, you know, nerd out on you guys.
Don't apologize. That's really important information.
But the Lightning Network
people need
is
to
something,
understand what they're investing in.
And so,
very important.
And so that just goes hand in hand with why I think a lot of altcoins are going to die, because so many of them were specifically made to combat Bitcoin's transaction speed and you know, the throughput that it has. But when you can have a Lightning Network with channel states with near instant free transactions, why do you need a coin with a 10-second block time that's supposed to replace Bitcoin? It just removes the need for 95% of these coins. That's, again, why I love centralized exchanges right now. I love protocols. I love platforms.
Think of the money that's coming in. They're not going to go through IDEX and EtherDelta. And people ask about SEC and ICO regulations, and is that bad? First off, if you've been in this space and you've paid any attention to the news and what's going on, it was... Nobody doesn't know that the SEC is going to crack down on ICOs. Why do you think Americans can't participate in ICOs to begin with? Everybody knows the SEC is going to look at it as a security, and they're going to regulate strictly. So now that they're formally regulating the ICOs, that doesn't change anything. It's just giving more retail investors that are not in this space a cushion that they know that they're being protected. Exactly. So they feel more comfortable putting their money in. So to me, everybody's like, oh, they're regulating ICOs. No shit. Who didn't know that that was going to happen? It's just the next step in adoption and mainstream awareness. You look at where the market cap is at, 420 billion, 400 billion. It's nothing. It's really nothing.
It's an insignificant number.
It's nothing.
Gas Trader, hold on. I got to answer this question. Gas Trader said these coins with 10,000 plus transactions per second are literal scams. They don't realize they will run into problems with node validator timing issues and have to slow down the chain. That's completely false. Coins with delegated proof of stake actually will be able to put out thousands, if not tens of thousands, transactions per second, just because of the way that they're run. You know, if they have legitimate delegates, which the network is built around you delegating your vote to specific nodes that will allow the network to run at very high speeds, like 10,000 transactions per second. That's the whole point of these new consensus protocols, is there will be
blockchain 3.0.
There will be networks that can do 10,000, 100,000 transactions per second. They're not scams. Obviously, there's more testing that needs to be done.
What's Visa at? They do
Visa does 30,000. I'm not sure what Visa does, but delegated proof of stake is really going to be one of the best consensus algorithms.
So they're asking, how did we all meet?
How did we all meet? Wow.
So there's this group called the Illuminati. And
I think I was showing something in Gat made
Walton Chain.
Was it Walton?
Yeah.
Was it WTC?
Well, I met Birch.
I made another
before
call
Korean
before
Jew.
too.
So I actually found Korean Jew because
This is
I
good.
saw his Walton Chain video, and it had like 150 views. You know, it was right when he got started. I saw that
it
he
early,
knew,
huh? You got in early.
That's it. You
It
know,
got
I
like
get into
2,000
things
views
early.
over the weekend.
I get
I
into
was the
things
ICO.
early.
I was KJ ICO.
So I saw his Walton Chain video, and I was just growing as far as my influence in the space. I was learning a lot more. There's a lot more people that were going to me for information and research, and I saw KJ over here in his Walton Chain video, and I was like, this guy is just like me. He can find a coin that is extremely undervalued and talk to a normal person about it. You know, these things are so tech heavy. There's so few people that can actually sit down and explain something on a high level to a normal person who doesn't have any background in technology, kind of similar to the Lightning Network explanation.
That was really
And I get a lot of these explanations from watching some of the biggest people in the space, like Julian Haas. You know, I watch all these interviews, and they have been around it for so long, they can explain the technology to a 4-year-old.
It's hard.
It is hard, but
like, I didn't want to come out and be like, buy this coin, guys. You know,
Exactly.
like some people do, and you know, you have to do the research, explain it, understand it. And for me, that I don't have a coding background. It took me like hours and hours and hours to understand what was going on, and then you digest it, and then you spit it out in a way that other people can understand, and they get the idea. So Gat reached out to me. I didn't have a Twitter. I created a Twitter the same day I created a YouTube.
Yeah.
And, you know, like, I think it was like a week later, I made some sort of call. I think it was Omise Go, right?
Yeah.
And Omise Go got listed on Poloniex and Pump Crazy. And Gat PMs me, he's like, yo, I made mad money. Like, yo, you're good. And like, we just started talking. Like, he made money on Walton, he made money on OMG off of my lucky call. I had no idea Poloniex was going to list Omise Go.
And then Bitrix listed it.
Yeah, I was like, Omise Go is good. And then like the next day, like not even the next day, within hours, it was like a huge candle. And Gat's like, yo, this guy's good. So we started talking, and you know, somehow I got talking to Birch.
Yeah, so the reality is, guys, this space is so small. Going back to the $400 billion market cap, the reason that the SEC has basically said, like, listen, we want to protect people, but we're not about to. They've come out and said that hard regulations are years away. It's not a huge. The
Right.
community is very small. There's not a lot of guys who do this for a living. Like, this is what we wake up, we do, and it's not without risk. It's not like we don't have bills to pay and we can just like quit our jobs and do whatever. I've been in the space since 2015, but there's not a lot of people in the space. And so when you are in the space, you can quickly pick out people who are just, people who, who just like to troll on live streams and spam dislike buttons versus people who are actually in the space, who eat and breathe and live this
You can see
whole
it.
world.
This is
And
what I talk about this
we just
all the
connected.
time, because like when
Yeah.
I got in, I was looking up to people, and then I was like, you know what? You can carve out your own destiny here.
Absolutely.
And I always say this in my group. The ultimate like gratification for me is somebody to leave my group and go start their own group. You
That'd be
know,
great.
or to say, you know what? I don't need you, KJ, anymore because I'm equipped. I got the tools. I'm making money. I don't need to hear what you got to say. And I can leave. I've already learned enough, and I'm learning on my own. I don't want anybody else's influence. Because like many of you, I started as a noob. I chased pumps. You know, I signed up for Superman's $10 course. It did shit for me. And, you know, nothing against him. I like him. But,
Play him in
you know,
poker.
I'll play him any day. But I was in other private groups, and I started to realize, you know, my own calls, my own instinct, my own research is where I'm making money, not these other people. So for me, I learned enough, and you know, we try to in our groups as Bravado and myself, we both do our own thing, but it's
But
similar.
we collaborate, too.
Yeah, we collaborate. These are guys I respect in the space because similar to me, they realize like Birch, he knows. We were talking about this earlier. He's not an expert on everything, and neither am I. I'm not. There are certain coins that I have no clue about. Master nodes, privacy coins, I have no clue about. So I partner with people that complement me and have that knowledge that I respect. But like in my group, every month there are people that rise up that you can look and see what they're saying and see the moves that they're making. They know what they're doing. There are talented people out here. And, you know, if you're killing it, don't let anything stop you. You're good. You know, the bottom line is you're good.
It requires a level of obsession, though. The reality is a lot of people want to get rich quick, and that's why they came into crypto. Who the fuck doesn't
get rich
want,
quick?
Yeah, who the
Let's
fuck
do
doesn't
it.
want to
We're
get
doing
rich
it.
quick, right?
See, that's the crazy thing. I got into it because of blockchain.
We got into it before it was cool. I got into crypto in October of 2015. That's when I started making real investments in Bitcoin, and that was long before CNBC was covering Ripple, right? It took almost 2 years before I got my payday when I loaded up on Ethereum at $12 or AND shares at $3.
My TA is shit. I don't do TA. Fuck TA. TA is good. TA is good for like Bitcoin margin trading, Ethereum high cap stuff.
Big cap stuff that trades against USD.
You need TA for that, and I don't do that. I buy stuff that with a special indicator. This you won't find it on KoreanJew. Okay, this is the best indicator you could find. Really.
Tell us about it.
It's called the "it's too fucking cheap" indicator. And when something looks too fucking cheap, I buy that shit. When people are scared, I buy.
That's kind of like my Twitter sentiment indicator that I created.
Yeah, exactly.
When people are bullish on shit, I sell it.
That's right.
When people just sold everything and they're depressed about it,
I have another indicator because this motherfucker's too happy indicator. When people are too happy, I'm selling it. I'm selling it. These are, hey, I'm up 20x.
Hey, I always tell people
You know,
when my Lyft driver
when people
when my Lyft driver shilling me Ripple and it was in December, that's when I knew.
Yeah.
I
when
was like,
everybody
we got a
is
couple
too
weeks to
happy,
get out.
you gotta sell.
Get the
When
fuck
everybody
out.
is scared and it looks, and you just look, you just kind of have an instinct. This
when it's feeling like a cult, get out.
Yeah.
You know, we just saw it happen with obviously
With the exception of Bitcoin.
Private. When it's like a cult and it's 100x and there's people still buying it, you gotta get the fuck out.
Hey. Yeah, they think I'm joking, but like literally, like I looked at Kyber earlier this week. I'm like, this is too cheap. Bought that shit, 20%, sold that. You know, like that's how I do it.
We're in the market at 20%
I looked at Link.
gains.
Link wasn't moving. WTC, okay, this looks cheap. They just did Alibaba. I'm in. 20%.
Thoughts on credits,
You know?
thoughts on credits. I don't have any thoughts on credits. It has really high
I think
throughput.
Superman is shilling. It's going up.
Yeah.
But
It's like 5x from getting listed on IDEX.
Hey, I saw what the guy did.
I would sell it right now. If I
He
was
did
buying
with
it.
Bitcoin X. Bitcoin X
I
did
would
like
bounce.
crazy.
I would bounce on credits right now.
Anything Superman chills, I'm just.
The thing is, right
instantly
now, you have to understand that the market is not an altcoin bull market. Okay,
Not even
altcoin
close.
bull market, you can do 10x.
Walt
in a week.
just
Altcoin bull
announced
market,
a
you can do
partnership
anything.
with Alibaba,
They
even
did
though
like
it looks like
50%.
it went 27% or some shit. It didn't even go 50, and it looks like they actually
MD5
fabricated the
hashing.
partnership.
This is what I've said.
Credits really has MD5 hashing. That's
When
such
is
a joke.
BlockX getting released?
Oh, good question.
We should get some coins soon.
I think BlockX in the next week or so.
In the next couple of weeks, and then
I'm still just amazed that credits says MD5 hashing.
No, but BlockX.
That's like MD5 hashing is retired. You don't use that shit anymore. You
We
use
don't.
like
I don't. Do you,
256
do
like
you use
Bitcoin.
MD5 hashing? I don't use MD.
Knowing that
No.
credits uses MD5 hashing, I would never buy it again.
Do you use MD5 hashing? I would never use. The only hashing I'm
MD2,
using is
MD4,
Hashgraph.
MD5, and then
hashing.
SHA 256. Then you get into
OneChain.
RSA.
Very bullish on OneChain. With
when are
BlockX,
they gonna list?
BlockX is going to be listing their own ICO. So, Gad, I don't know about you, but actually I do know about you. You're intending on holding BlockX for the most part, so you can invest in the ICOs on their platform.
Yeah, I did invest in BlockX, and then from there, there's going to be I think 4 ICOs on their platform pretty quickly, and I plan on just distributing my tokens into those ICOs. Do I have a background in computer coding background? Yeah, I was in school for business and computer science. I finished my undergrad degrees, and then I was getting my master's in computer science, but I decided to take a break this semester. This would have been my last semester in school, in grad school.
People want to know how much I bench.
How much do you bet? I'm gonna say 285 for
260.
3.
That's about right. Yeah, I could do.
I'm
285
psychic,
for
guys.
3. Yeah. No, like
260.
I don't do like 3 sets of 3. I'll do like 225 12 times.
Okay, Aeon. I keep getting Aeon. You guys know.
Yeah. If I do
MD5 is no longer
I could
considered
do it. I could do 275.
cryptographically secure. Yes, I know that. That's
I'll
why I was
hurt
just making
myself.
fun of MD5. So Aeon, you want me? I've gotten a lot of questions about Aeon. I still think Aeon is going to be one of the best performers this year, especially once their mainnet comes out. They're hosting their own conference, I believe. I just saw things about that. But anyone who doesn't know what Aeon is, it's focusing on blockchain interoperability. And what that means is, I have Bitcoin and I want to trade it for Ethereum and not on an exchange. I just want to switch it with someone. Aeon is offering a solution to do this. I'm not going to get too much into it, but in my opinion, versus Icon and OneChain, they have the best interoperability solution. It's a hard word to say. Using smart bridges.
I hate saying interoperability.
Interoperability. And so the thing about Acon that's Acon.
Opus.
Aeon. A lot of people aren't buying Aeon because of the TRS. Instead of doing an ICO, Aeon was like, we have enough money. If you have Aeon tokens, you can lock them up and get 300% over the next 12 months. And so that's what I did. I'm a huge supporter of Aeon. Like I said, it's going to be one of the best performers this year in my opinion. It's going to be vital to the blockchain community and cryptocurrency community. Like, you need interoperability, and I'm not going to say it.
Interoperability.
You need blockchains to be able to communicate with each other. And I'm not just talking about sending tokens, but Aeon actually allows you to send logic through the blockchain. That means you could have a smart contract between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's just huge. Sending logic between blockchains is going to allow blockchain to advance to the next level, and especially cryptocurrency. So if you can write a smart contract that interacts with two different blockchains and you have Aeon in the middle, their network is going to be, I guess you could almost say, the third party, even though it's completely decentralized. But to make it simple, they're going to be the party in between these two smart contracts that are communicating. And so that's just going to
cover fees. What's the use case from a utility perspective?
Holding the Aeon token?
Right.
So Aeon is delegated proof of stake. So if you're holding the tokens, you will be able to vote for a delegate, and it will be similar to staking rewards. Right. And in addition to that, you'll also be able to give your computing power for proof of intelligence, which will be solving some of the logic I was just talking about between blockchains. So Aeon really, there's a lot going on for it. I've wanted to make a video about it, but it's one of the most difficult white papers for me to, talk about. I
think kind of dumb down, for lack of a better term.
It's really difficult for me to dumb down the white paper just because there's so much going on. And so, I always talk about the video. I've been working on a video for it. I just need to read the white paper a few more times.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are Aeon's competitors in terms of sending logic through the blockchain / smart contracts between blockchains? I mean, Aeon, Icon, and OneChain all are working together to kind of do the same thing. Icon and OneChain have a focus in different areas, whereas Aeon is really just focusing on sending logic through the blockchain or between blockchains.
Yeah, I gotta pee.
I'm holding on. How long has it been? What time is it?
I don't know. It's been a long.
This has actually been a lot longer. But
I've been up since. I've been up like since.
This is one of the longest streams I've ever had.
I've been up since like mad early. Like I didn't know.
Yo,
if I was
Tech,
gonna
I am the most practical.
Okay, I didn't realize that we've been streaming
That's
for so
alright.
long.
These people are happy.
You want to take a quick break? You gotta.
Yeah. But before we go, people ask me Juan versus Cash. So it has to. Listen, there's no doubt Juan's going to be hyped. But if Juan lists,
super hype.
But it depends on when it lists. If
it's
it
going to
lists
list
now,
in April when current lists,
and it depends on what it's going to list.
OneChain is going to list when there's the
500
next
million.
bull
You think,
season.
you think it'll list
for the bull season.
You think it'll list at over 500 million?
What did I
like? You think like the
that?
way Dragon played the KuCoin run was beautiful, and OneChain's going to do the same thing.
OneChain will probably list at 7 or 8x.
Yeah, no doubt.
So I'm just going to say this once on this stream.
One
I
time.
say one time.
We're gonna say it tomorrow too.
Like I legit think Cash is going to be a top 5 coin.
So
like
in
I've
what
said this
timeframe?
many times.
2018, 2020.
I'd say by Q1 of 2019.
See the only problem I have with
It'll be a
top
top
5
token.
status, because I like what I've seen from it as well, is that first mover advantage in any emerging asset or any class like this with these startups, right? First mover advantage is so powerful, and to with Bittrex closing user registrations when they did, they gave up huge market share to Binance and KuCoin. But it is going to be so hard to dethrone Binance at this point, even when Bittrex comes back out with Coinbase.
But is Binance looking to do a fiat exchange?
No, I don't think they are.
But Bittrex is, and Bittrex is trying to roll out fiat pairing, and so the
US
only
dollar.
thing that keeps me
So Cash is doing like 8 or 9 different currencies: Chinese, Korean, Indian, American.
That's assuming they're able to get
and partnering
get
with all these
approval,
exchanges. They want to partner with the exchanges. So basically, the whole model and the idea is that institutional investors that want to buy a coin on KuCoin, right?
Okay.
They don't want to buy Bitcoin through GDAX or an OTC,
And then transfer it
send it
over
to
and then-
KuCoin, buy the coin. They want to buy it through a fiat pairing.
Sure.
And that's the transaction that the World Book through cash facilitates. And you'll see, I have other questions, but to me, like, people keep asking me what I think about it. It's gone down. Obviously, it's gone down with the rest of the altcoin market. Everything is going down, okay? So, like, each coin that goes down, I was like, what's going on with it? Everything's going down, okay?
I don't understand that question for the life
What's
of
going
me.
on with the...
Like I said earlier,
Like,
when 60 billion leaves the market cap, everything goes down.
people think that the coins that we like are gonna perform well in a 70% sell-off. It's like they're all going down. That's why, you know, even like I said, I personally sold a lot of coins for a loss that I was picking up in the last couple of weeks because
It's been a good trade so
they're going down more, and I'll pick them up again. I still feel the same way about them, but I don't want to lose money on them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to lose more money. I want to manage my portfolio.
So the point I wanted to make is people on Twitter, every day they ask me, wait, what about cash? What's going on? I am very clear how I feel. I'm interviewing the CEO on Thursday. If you watch that, you'll see the questions that I asked, and then you'll get a better understanding of exactly what this project is. Because I think people invested in it without having a full comprehension. People that I really respect have asked me questions like, what's the difference between it and BNB? And they didn't understand that this is actually going to have its own blockchain. It's going to have masternodes. There's a whole next component that puts it a level up above the KCS token, the BNB token. But these BNB has the stranglehold on the volume.
Right.
So it's a matter of, can they get the volume? Where will the volume come from? And then what happens?
That API hack today that affected Binance, though they weren't directly hacked, actually pumped the BNB coin because of the trading volume that was a result of that hack. Basically, the API hack wiped out everyone's alts, basically market selling all the alts to buy VIA. And so we saw VIA do
But I believe
100
Binance is going to refund people.
So Binance is actually going to reverse all that, and they're going to refund everyone, which is
And that's
really
absolutely
tight.
like
That's
Binance
huge.
is becoming one of the
And
most
they've
legitimate
and
exchanges.
they've always been very transparent.
They're
with everything they've done.
transparent. You know, when they're doing
With their
updates.
support.
We're gonna take a quick break.
break.
We'll
We're
be
gonna take a
back
quick
in a
break.
minute or two.
All right, we're going to take a quick break.
Birch, hold down the fort.
I'm not holding down the fort. I got to
hold
pee.
it up.
But we'll be back in 10 minutes. Anyone who
You can-
wants
you
to
can
hang
leave it
around.
up. You can leave it
Anyone
up.
who wants to hang around, you can
We'll be back in like
hang around.
4 minutes. We'll do another 15-20 minutes of Q&A.
We'll do 15, 20.
If
all
you
right.
guys got questions, we're here to answer them. Just give us a quick couple minutes.
I'm drunk. Yeah, go get some more
I
beer.
don't want to drink any more whiskey.
Yeah, no more whiskey.
No more
KJ doesn't
whiskey.
want to drink more whiskey. No more. He can't handle it. Let's see
I
if
can't.
we
I can't.
Like probably half the people.
Just gotta find it.
No.
Oh, okay.
Not too bad. Not too bad. All right, guys, we're gonna do some Q&A. Just this has been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of shit talking, but it's been a lot of fun. Love to see the reaction if BTC took a shit and go. Listen, if BTC goes below 7,700, it's going to break out of the 1-year log uptrend, and we've been following a log uptrend, even with that huge correction to 5,700 that actually respected the 1-year uptrend. So if we, but the 1-year uptrend is now higher than 5,700. So if we go below 77, we're gonna see.
Why so many dislikes?
5K.
I don't know. What's up?
Yeah,
with,
what's up with the dislikes?
me
We had a
check
bunch of haters. Oh, we had a bunch of haters.
I got 400 dislikes. That's more the people that are
No,
watching.
somebody had a bot.
I think a bot disliked us because
Haters don't hate. They probably bought Proc at the top.
You boys hitting up Big City Tap or ties till 4 later? I don't know what that is.
Those are places in Chi-Town.
Places in Chicago. Got it. Net Ncash end of year predictions. I think
10x.
1,000 sats, maybe 1,200 sats.
10x.
Cash is going to 10x.
More shilling about.
I can definitely
Storm.
see Ncash being top 25.
I promise
coin.
you, Storm is coming. To
Maybe
Binance.
top 50 coin. You know, current market cap's about 100 million. I can see it being 300 to 400 million, no problem.
Storm's going to be listed on Binance and probably Bittrex. They're advised by Bill Shahir. They're advised by 2 co-founders of Ethereum, this little tiny coin.
I've never heard of Ethereum. What's that?
I'll tell you about it. It's this proof of work thing that doesn't do delegated proof of stake, and then it's like kind of like with these master nodes, and it kind
my
of.
brother, my friend messages me. He goes, on this live stream, you legit look swole as fuck next to Birch and Gap.
Yeah, because
He's calling me small. I might have to.
listen,
Meet
I'm out of
boxing.
season. I'm out of season, and I'm not wearing a black.
Yeah, I'll bet
I actually
10%
am wearing a black V-neck, but
I would too.
I'm out of season right now wearing a hoodie. I'm out of season.
No.
I'm out of season.
Anyway, so we'll do another 5-10
What's your
minutes
weight right
of
now?
questions.
195?
Then we got a
185.
175.
you got 40 on me.
People?
So
shit.
we're gonna do another 5-10 minutes of questions, and then I saw a couple questions about it earlier. Our event
ICX. When does
tomorrow.
ICX go ballistic? When first off, when what is not announced, their staking model is released, which I believe there's going to either be some sort of proof of stake model, like similar to NeoGas, or there'll be a master node. That's a catalyst. If you want to check it out, check out my video. I listed for you. Korean exchanges being added, which will definitely happen. That's a catalyst. Mainnet actually being used, new partnerships, new marketing from them. There's a lot of different components and catalysts that will cause Icon to pump. So for me, Icon is one of those coins when the alt market comes back, it's going to start to rip off 30% in a day, 40% in a day. It's a big coin. And normally I won't be so bullish on a coin that already has $1 billion and more market cap, because
You got to find your big caps for your portfolio.
there are big caps that'll go, like look at what Cardano did.
Yeah.
There are coins that'll go from 1 billion to 10 billion, and in my opinion, Icon is one of those. So that's why I'm so bullish on it.
Would you ever invest in a centralized blockchain like XRP? I would never invest in XRP. In case banks try to fight the decentralized movement, yeah, I don't see a problem with centralization in blockchain as long as its goal isn't to be a cryptocurrency essentially. Like something like Ripple, it was never meant to be decentralized. When you're in the cryptocurrency space and you're looking for this next movement, which is decentralization, you don't want something like Ripple. Like if you believe in the technology, you're not looking for a Ripple. But the mainstream that's getting into it, they're not really comfortable with decentralization. Like if you can't understand the tech a little bit and understand how nodes work, you're not going to like Bitcoin.
Well, half of them think Ripple is decentralized. Is the reality. They think
Well, they don't know what
decentralized
decentralized means.
Right, they don't know what cryptocurrency
and
is.
so the centralized coins are a lot more appealing to mainstream investors, especially if there's a company behind it. Like if Amazon did an ICO or put out a coin, obviously it would be centralized because Amazon would own most of it. I'm sure they'd run all the nodes. Like it would be completely centralized, but it would be marketed as a cryptocurrency. People who don't understand what cryptocurrency is and what makes it decentralized would say that Amazon coin is decentralized, and obviously it would make a lot of money. So there is a market for centralized blockchains, but if you're in it for the tech, then that's not something that you personally would want to invest in.
I think Omise Go is poised for a move soon.
OMG is one of those coins I will buy. And
it's a solid coin.
And I will buy.
The market cap's a little high for me, but,
we all,
but it is very close.
Yeah, but we
didn't discuss this, but I just saw it, and you see how we all agree. That's a good sign. Buy on
yeah. So you have to have big caps as a part of your longer term portfolio, and so for me,
what is
OMG
the top 3 low caps? Okay.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you.
Let's go down top 3 low caps that you're holding.
I don't even want to name them.
Well, what's considered a low? What's considered a low cap?
That's a good question too. Because remember
under 25.
I used to look at coins that were between 1 and 5 million.
Yeah. I like 5 to 15.
Yeah, that's what I would look at.
My top 3. First one's pretty obvious. Lux. Lux is like 10, 12 million market cap right now.
Yeah,
Love Lux. I will continue to show Lux until it's $150 market.
I'm with you.
$150 million market cap. That's what it deserves to be at. Second one is Hat. Hat's going to be revealing their team at the end of this month. I was just talking to the devs, and they're going to be revealing their team at the end of the month or in early April, which is and the company behind them, and that's something that everyone's talking about. So that will be a huge catalyst for them. And my last one is Cred. I love crypto Cred, but there is Cred Coin, and it's it's a protocol essentially. It's a trust protocol. We'll leave it there. Those are my top 3. What are your top 3?
I don't even have a top.
Brock?
3. Yeah, no. See, he laughs, but literally out of like the coins that fit this category,
Proc is one of the best ones.
Proc legit is the best.
Proc 250 sats, 300 sats. I'm picking.
Proc is like 3 million market cap at this level. It is like it's one of the coins that could easily 10x.
And it fits our analysis for when to buy a coin. Everyone's down
trolling.
on it. People are dumping it. It's bottomed out. People are depressed.
I own like nothing worth. So don't I didn't put any thought to this. But to be honest, like when I look at the coins at that level, I'm like, fucking Proc is like the best out of like most of these.
Proc is a good
I don't
one.
like it. I hate it. I don't want it to do well, but it could.
Man, going through and seeing all the coins that are $20 million market cap now that I remembered being 100 million.
Yeah, that's a good pickup now.
Is insane. So
Lux, I also agree with
Lux is something that we've all been bullish on since the beginning.
Lux is gonna go on a big exchange soon, and when it does, that price is gonna just go crazy. I don't care what kind of market we're in. When Lux hits a bigger exchange, other than Craptopia,
that's why I look at Proc and it's like it's all right.
Proc's not so bad for you.
Like 2 million, like
Lux is good. Lux is good.
It's really low.
Which privacy coins are you guys bullish on? I'm bullish on Lux.
Monero, Lux, Pivx, and
I don't like any privacy coins.
I like X-Trade. I would like to. It's a competitor to Cash. Some of the people from X-Trade have reached out to me because they know that I did Cash. I'd like to speak to them. The CEO is a really interesting guy. I'd like to talk to him. It's something that I'm exploring. It's an option. It's a competitor, and it's an interesting project. So X-Trade is very interesting. I didn't participate in the ICO. I don't have any, but I'm intrigued. I'm not one of those people that falls in love with a coin, and like for instance, WTC was the coin that like started my crypto career. I got in at 60 cents. I made my first YouTube video on WTC. I had never made a YouTube anything. I didn't even have a webcam. I went to the gym, and I bought a webcam at Best Buy, which was next to the gym. And then I started Googling how to do YouTube. And that day, I drank a couple glasses of wine. I said, fuck it, I'll make this video.
What kind of wine?
It was a cheap wine. I was broke.
White wine or red wine?
So, barefoot?
White.
White.
Yeah, it was like barefoot. Yeah, it was like Moscato.
Oh, I love that stuff. I love that.
Like barefoot Moscato. I was drinking barefoot Moscato.
Drink a bottle and one sip of that.
Yeah, I had just gone tanning.
Pole is low.
And pole. So I went and made WTC at 60 cents. WTC is RFID tech, but when I switched to Ven, people are like, what about WTC? It's like, I did my thing.
It's up 20x. You want me to keep yelling about it?
Now I'm moving to something else. So I don't have the loyalty per se. Like, if I think something's good, it's good. If I don't, I'm out of it, and you won't hear me talking about it anymore.
And when something happens like that, WTC is still a great project, but my goal in this space is to show people a lot of undervalued coins. Obviously, not all of them are going to take off, but once...
Man, is a chink whale scam. Oh, this is like high school all over again.
And it's big guys.
Yeah, there's always guys...
Big guy.
I was just telling them, like, there are guys like, Korean Jew, that name is racist. I'm like, I've been called a chink, a gook, a kike, and I'm racist? I am a Korean Jew. So
he's literally a Korean Jew.
Actually?
Yeah, I'd be a sick fuck not to make that up. You know,
Otherwise, it'd be
that
Korean
would be,
Catholic.
that, if I wasn't Korean or
That would
Jewish,
be a little racist.
that would be racist. The GAT would not accept that. If I didn't,
I'd still accept you.
you would accept me.
We were talking about privacy coins. What are your feelings on the
It's hilarious.
BTCP opening price? It's fucking
It's
overpriced.
not a real. It's not a real
joke.
price because you can't deposit your BTCP.
So let me give you guys a little lesson
Let's
on
get a little
what
lesson
happens.
on
Yeah, tell him.
Let me give you guys a little lesson on what happens when wallets are disabled. We saw this with Bitcoin Gold. We saw this with Bitcoin Diamond, especially on low volume exchanges, KuCoin, YoBit. When these forks happen, they disable the wallet. That means the only people with the forked coin are the ones who are holding Bitcoin on the exchange. They're absolute idiots for doing that, especially if you have a lot. But so the wallet's disabled. No one can withdraw it. No one can put more of it into the exchange. That means the only amount of Bitcoin private on KuCoin is however much Bitcoin was being held on KuCoin that isn't from KuCoin. Or KuCoin's dumping it. Like, who knows?
Right.
But so, someone with a lot of Bitcoin will intentionally run the price up to a ridiculous level because they have a lot of Bitcoin private and they know that there's no other Bitcoin private that can be put onto the exchange. They run it up 10, 20x. People are like, oh my God, what's going on with Bitcoin private? Let's all buy it. It's the next Bitcoin. They dump all of their Bitcoin private that they got for $2 from ZCL at $800.
Yeah.
The wallet opens, it dumps to like $50. Everyone cries. The cult's over. Sorry in advance for that, but that's what happens.
That is what's gonna happen.
And I've seen it happen over and over again, especially on low volume exchanges. So all the shit that people say to me about Bitcoin private, I got into ZCL early. I sold ZCL when I felt it was overvalued, which was around $70. And I don't like the project. The team is a joke. I've seen them in their different meetups. It's an absolute joke.
Hey.
Like, you think this is worth $2 billion and you guys can't even use a projector?
No,
I don't know.
Shots fired.
Is my Twitter
Yeah.
worth $500 million because I can
Yeah.
live stream with 400 people? Probably not. But if it was, I'd be selling it right now.
I like it. I like
So,
it.
people are getting mad at me about
pulling
Bitcoin.
no punches.
No, I'm not gonna. I'm honest. And so, people are getting mad at me about Bitcoin private. They're like, you were the biggest supporter of ZCL. Yeah, and then it turned into a shit show.
Well,
It's not worth what it's worth.
7,000%. Like after we put it out there,
My opinion stays the same on it. I'm going to give you an honest opinion. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. If Bitcoin private's worth $5,000 each, then I will
delete my Twitter.
Yeah, sure. I'll delete my Twitter if it's worth $5,000 each. I'll delete Birch's Twitter too.
Yeah.
We'll both just delete our
And mine.
Twitters. No doubt.
We never got your low cap predictions, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, the tangent. People are giving me a lot of shit about Bitcoin private.
Yeah, so I had to do
I'm
a
going to
quick-
defend my stance.
Yeah.
No,
that's right.
and actually that's definitely my stance as well. I think we've probably been on the same page about ZCL
Yeah.
since the day we
Just
shared
no
ZCL.
one else is willing to say it. Like, I have no problem saying that. Someone
And
from the
you
team
know what else?
texted me, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. Why do you want me to text you about my problems with Bitcoin private?
But you know what else no one else did was call ZCL when we called it.
I called
Period.
the day before
Literally.
the top. I said on Twitter, February 13th, I said, this is probably near the top. And the next day, it started selling.
More importantly, we're the ones who put it out there at $2 or $3.
Yeah, it was in my
I mean,
newsletter. It was in the 6th newsletter. It was $2.30. Peripheral showed us it.
Yeah, it was. That's all Connor. So, with that being said, one of my favorite low caps is
meetings with him.
one of my favorite low caps is We
He's in
Trust
my
for sure. I think
Unfortunately,
that
I couldn't make it.
it's just one of my favorites. It's something that I've bought a lot of. And Bread Wallet is kind of like a sleeper, I guess you could say. I guess it's not as low cap as some of the ones you were talking about.
56
It's like 40 million.
Bread's
but
a solid call, though.
I actually
I like Bread.
I spent
I like Bread.
I spent 2 hours on the phone with the Bread team last week with a couple of members of the
Yeah.
Bread team, and one of the things that they're rolling out is the ability to trade from multiple exchanges through their app and be able to open and close orders yourself through their app that's coming out. I think Bread has a shot at competing with Coinbase, and so for that reason, I'm in.
It could be a top 50 coin.
I think that Bread has
Yeah.
a lot of potential. And then another low cap, along with Lux, it's actually right there, is Solaris, which I said a few times. XLR. I'm
Yeah.
running an XLR masternode. It's a
65%
privacy
is
coin.
locked up.
And it's got like a 1.8 million coin supply, which is absolutely nothing. I feel like a fucking whale
Please
with
fix
as
your
much
forehead posture. My posture's fine.
with as much XLR as I hold. And then Shift. Shift is a Lux competitor. Shift actually is a fork of Lux. Are you familiar with Shift?
Oh, am I familiar with Shift?
I know you're familiar with Shift.
Shift is going to 10x this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Shift is another big one for me. It's a fork of Lux. They actually just took one of the Lux developers onto their team, and I also spoke on the phone with the Shift team for about an hour last week, and I learned. Yep, and I learned that they are light years ahead on some of their tech developments than Lux, and Shift has what, a 30 million market cap or something like that, and Lux is a few billion.
It was featured in Forbes.
Or not Lux. Yeah, what am I talking about?
Shift is 30 million right now, 35 million.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about Lux. I'm mistaking it.
Wise.
For the Shift.
Substratum.
No, forget about it. But nevertheless, Shift is another one that I'm very bullish on. And those are a couple of my low caps.
All right, guys, we're going to end it there. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Just to get it out there, we are doing an event tomorrow in Chicago from 8 to 11. We posted flyers about it. We're going to talk about it more tonight. The seating was limited, and I don't know if we have more seats available. But if you RSVP'd, you are on the list. You'll make it up there. The three of us are going to be doing a panel
I want to see your
from 9 to 9:45. 8 to 9, there's going to be free Tito's and appetizers being passed around. Yeah. We're going to be hosting an event every other Thursday in Chicago. I'm going to be bringing in people from all over the world. Korean Jew is going to be our first guest. Is going to be the best one. We will have Luke Martin.
Next year.
He'll be here next year.
He'll be here next week, though.
I'm more fun.
This is the most fun.
This is the most fun I've ever had.
I guarantee you.
Ever had.
We didn't even get started yet.
We haven't even. Actually, when the live stream ends is when it's really going to kick off.
Really
we should keep the mic on just so people can listen to all the fun.
That's a great idea.
That we're going to have. Hold on. Let me just say this real quick. I was talking about Shift. Whiskey, not Lisk. Is what I meant to say, and I just was having a brain fart.
Yep.
Yeah, so Lisk is what I was. I know what I'm talking about. I promise you. It's been a long day. It's a fork of Lisk, not Lux. We were just talking about.
Yeah, it is a fork of Lisk.
And one of Lisk's.
When he said Lux fork, I'm like,
I'm gonna
catch up.
Y'all know that's not what I meant. But one of Lisk's developers just joined the Shift team, and when I was talking to Shift, they were very, very confident that they're actually going to beat Lisk to market with a lot of tech.
They will.
And with that level, with the market cap comparison to Lisk, no doubt in my mind that Shift is something I'm loading up on. So.
And just to let everyone know, I'm actually forking Lux. It is going to be Lux Coin Public. It is going to remove all the privacy features of it, and you're going to need KYC to buy it. So, Bitcoin Private, I'm doing Lux Coin Public. So look for that in the next couple of weeks.
Public.
The market cap will be at least 60 billion, I think, maybe 70 billion. It's going to be an airdrop if you hold Lux. I'm going to end with that. Thanks everyone for watching.
Peace.
Great
Thank you for watching. It was fun.
We had a lot of fun with you guys. Thanks for coming into.
We're gonna be streaming the event tomorrow as well. So if you're not in Chicago, we will try and stream it.
Shout out to Showman and Iron Fist.
All right, thanks everyone.